To this day.
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 What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Malik Scott. Get this. Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, blames broken promises as Joshua fight thrown into doubt. Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, has commented on the recent reports that the fighter's expected clash against Anthony Joshua could be in jeopardy. Wilder and Joshua have been linked to fight for years. At one point, a deal was close, which would have seen the two compete to the crown, the first undisputed heavyweight championship since Lennox Lewis. Since then, both men have lost their fights back-to-back, and the two finally looked set to fight each other after both parties agreed to terms in a fight in Saudi Arabia scheduled to take place in early next year. But reports have shown to surface online that the movement in the sporting landscape in the region have made a clear less likely. Okay. And Scott revealed his frustration on ES News. And this is what he had to say. He said, quote, "I just know that Deontay was training yesterday, and the day before that he was training. I don't know what they're talking about, but we'll see. It's a real frustrating situation. Really it is, because for as far as everybody, Deontay is the one, as far as activity, is the one who missed out. There were a lot of promises, and seems like those promises are being broken a little bit, but we'll see." And let me counterpunch. It sucks for everybody, because at this point, you didn't hear, and you shouldn't expect Malik Scott to blame the finger at it, especially not the other side, because it's more than just Joshua. It's more than just Wilder. It's Skills Challenge trying to concoct a bigger picture, and the bigger picture is bigger than those guys. Unfortunately, they're involved in the picture, right? They have their roles inside the picture frame, but they're not the entire picture that we're looking at. Unfortunately, okay. Now, looking at the activity though, as far as Wilder goes, that's nobody's fault but Deontay Wilder. Okay, looking around, waiting all year and trying to pick and choose who you really should fight or not, I think that's bullshit. You know, the minute Andy Ruiz said he didn't want to fight, there should have been a replacement guy, just like it was for Dillian White being replaced with Robert Elenius. There should be a backup plan for Deontay Wilder. And again, I do question him, because I question his management team, because that's what they should have in place. And it shows you that they didn't. You know, they're trying to hold off for a Joshua fight, but now we're hearing it's not going to be the next year. So that takes Deontay Wilder completely out of the ring. And I'll tell you something, guys. If Malik Scott is mentioning activity or lack of, there's a problem. There is a problem. Trust me. Because he's like, well, hey, Deontay Wilder's the only one that's missing out. Well, yes, that's Deontay's fault. Deontay should have fought and knocked out Andy Ruiz if he could already earlier this year. So at least he would have had a fight under his belt. If he would have got 5 to 7 rounds in fighting Andy Ruiz, that would have been a lot better than the shit he's done. Nothing. Okay? Talk. That's all we've seen. And again, you have to wave a red flag because of how Malik Scott, like, well, hey, that's messed up, you know, because he hasn't had a fight. That's why he needs a damn fight. You think Robert Elenius is the only step that Deontay Wilder needs to go past? He needs to step and raise the opposition like the other fighters that lost back-to-back, like, let's say, Anthony Joshua. Okay? He needs the same type of treatment, not just knock a guy out you used to spar and say, hey, I've arrived. What kind of shit is that? Because everybody knows better, and like I said, this is one of my slogans. You guys can have it, but it's mine. Father Time is first cousin to inactivity. Or should I say inactivity is first cousin to Father Time. Point blank and period. So when we are dealing with Deontay Wilder, a guy sure he can hit like a hand cannon, the one-arm champion, the powerhouse Alabama sledgehammer. Yes, when we're talking about that, sure, it sounds good. But if he gets in there and he's not ready and he's not prepared and he's rusty, he could get knocked spark out himself. And that's not just with Joshua. That's anybody that can punch, that can catch Wilder, because again, Wilder is a boxing experiment at this point, people. We don't know if he can take a shot. We don't know how damaged he really is from the shots that he took from Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. We don't know that. Oh, we seen him last year hit a guy, one shot, going home, I'm back. What? You haven't even took a solid punch yet on the chin or on the side of the head or in the mandible. Right, Aki? Dante's Boxing Nation, Boxing Ego, all you guys that believe in that shit? Well, there is a such thing as being damaged in places that are soft spots, like Dillian White with the uppercut, right? Anthony Joshua with the left hook to the temple, right? Deontay Wilder with the mandible, okay? So, yeah, there are things we have to figure out, and those things can easily be more exposed due to inactivity. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of the frustration of Malik Scott and his comments towards the possible fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Looking like it's in limbo. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!